me a kiss. Come on. Good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. Ah. Hey, can I have another one? Almost. Good boy. So something I've done with this enclosure is I've added a little trap box just to let her hide, but I got to make sure she's in the trap box before I close it and stick my hands in there. She is in it, so, and now I can bring her out and I can close this little trap box over here. DIY, just like that. And let's take her out and put her over here so we can show what she looks like. Okay. Gotta be careful because when I put her on this platform here, she's gonna have something to push against to like launch herself at me, so I don't want that to happen. So let's let go of that, get the hook stick and let her get out. So as you can see, she's quite grumpy and she's actually a lot better than she used to be. She's a bit dull now, she's going into the blue, which means she's going to shed. Hey, I don't want you going in there. And she's getting some nice size on her. She's a really pretty snake. So what I wanted to talk about is with the Reptile Preservation Institute that I've been wanting to start up, I want to get different localities and bloodlines of animals. So as you can see, Octavia here is a banded snouted cobra. She's a different locality to the male over there, which is Murphy. He's a totally different locality, and that's why these guys are not going to breed together, because I don't want to mix up localities. Why are you trying to bite your own tail, silly thing? She just like sprayed a bunch of poop there. Why are you biting yourself, dum-dum? Did you see that? She just sprayed a bunch of poop on the floor there, that's why I had to dodge. But with the Reptile Preservation Institute that I'm starting up, I won't be crossing localities. I'll be mixing up clean bloodlines, so unrelated pairs that'll breed together, produce nice, strong, healthy offspring, and not mix the gene pool of like mixing localities from one area of Africa and another area. No, we'll try to get animals of the same area to breed together. So yes, as you can see, she's a lot less grumpy than she used to be, but yes, she's a banded snouted cobra, and that is the most common and frequent snouted cobra that you'd find throughout Europe and especially the USA. Remember, you got to try stay safe between animals, so disinfect the hook sticks. So like you can see with this guy, this is also a snouted cobra. Yes, he's in the blue, but he looks completely different to that of Octavia. Murphy doesn't have any of those bands on him, as you can see, and that is why we need to work with animals like this, which are not in captivity as frequently. We want to get the different varieties and not only the same animal each time, because we don't want only banded snouted cobras being saved if we ever need to like reintroduce or anything like that. I'll show you that Venom now, but he's the exact reason why we need a preservation institute, because as you can see, he's completely different. I mean, look at that belly. That belly has so much speckling on him, and he's not a banded snake. So look here, this is the venom from the first bite. As you can see, quite a bit of venom on the hook stick here. I wasn't holding the hook, don't worry, this was on the floor. And because he can't see so lacquer is like a South African word of saying he can't see so well, like, yeah, it's slang, but he can't see so well, so that's why he was all grumpy and afraid. So he bit there, releasing quite a large amount of venom, and then he came in for a second bite and bit right over there. Not as much venom, but still enough to end your happy day. So I need to quickly clean that up before it dries. It's already starting to dry and go into powder formation, and you don't want to breathe that in because your body can start forming like reactions to it. So I'm not going to touch it, and I'm not going to breathe it in. So let's clean that up straight away. Okay, so another reason for the Preservation Institute is not only to have these species in captivity and their different varieties, like Beth over here. Beth is a Runkos, but she is a Johannesburg locality, or Benoni black, or whatever you want to call it. So she's a black Runkos, whereas most of the Runkos all over the world that you'll find in captivity are actually the Cockstadt variety, which are this beautiful orange and black banded animal. So this one isn't as common in captivity, and there's not only a huge variety in their coloration, but also in their venom. So their venom is completely different to other animals from different localities, and that's why we need to work with all different types of animals, not only the ones that are super pretty and colorful. Honestly, I love these black individuals like so much. They're incredible animals, and we need to study their venoms, because if we don't have them in captivity, how can we study their venoms? There are literally so many medications that are already derived from snake venoms and peptides, and there's almost an endless list of the amount of medications to help save human life that we can derive from different snakes, venoms and peptides. So there's so much more we need to learn about these incredible animals, and that's why we have to have them on this planet. It's starting to warm up here in South Africa, and the Runkos are waking up, and they don't need to be as cold, so we're slowly increasing their temperatures, because that's the way to do it. You got to try replicate a natural environment for these animals, and that's why, yes, these ones specifically can handle a really cool temperature, and that's what I provide them in the winter time. So the animals I want to work with for the Preservation Institute are not only the rarest and the most sought after animals, but the ones that are actually neglected and forgotten, can you say, because those are the ones where we have so many things to study their venoms and study their peptides and keep localities alive in captivity, so future generations can actually enjoy them. This guy's moving, like almost tensing up because he thinks he's gonna get food now. Let's gently open this up. Ooh, tongue flickering. Yeah, I know it might be tempting to go in there and grab the snake, but that will inevitably get you bitten. So you take your time with these animals and you work with them in such a way that puts the least amount of stress on them. Come on, boy, you gotta cooperate with me. I need to take you out to water your plant, because I am not sticking my hand in there while he is in there, because yes, he's a little snake that may be on this end of the enclosure, but as soon as I stick my hand in that end to water the plant, boom, that's how you can get bitten. Okay, so tailing a small little puff adder like this is something that you should never do. Okay, we will see how he cooperates here. I'm not holding his tail. He is just like hooking onto the end of my hand. And this is a Gauteng locality male puff adder, different to my female, which is Limpopo locality, and that's why we want to keep all these different localities alive in captivity. He's actually a really peachy boy. I don't think you can see him so nicely because the light's not on him, but he's a stunner. There, hopefully you can see his color a little bit better if the camera ever decides to focus. But he's a stunning little snake, and he won't be bred to the female either. I'll have to find a different pretty locality, not pretty locality, what am I saying? Pretty Gauteng locality female for him. So he's not gonna ever be put with the Limpopo locality female, because that is not something I want to do. I don't want to mix up localities. It's just not a good thing to do, because in the future, who knows, these animals may eventually be split up into totally different species. And as you can see here, he's letting go of my hand, and there we go. So these are large body animals, so you don't want them to put too much strain. I can't put him back in his enclosure. I need to water the plants. You don't want so much strain on their ribs, is what I was trying to say. There we go, the cutest little snake. I love animals in the Bitters family. And you can see he's got a really colorful bluish purpley tongue. I don't think the camera will catch that, but it's absolutely spectacular with these silver eyes. Let's put him back. So that's the reason I need your guys' help. It's because I've started building up this facility, and now due to COVID I have lost it all, and I need to build up a new facility from scratch. I will still have these enclosures, but I need to build up a new room from scratch, from the ground up. So it's also a great learning opportunity because I've learned so much building this particular reptile facility with my own two hands, and I can incorporate everything I've learned into the new builds with new cages, new systems in place that will allow the animals to have a naturalistic, nice home that they can thrive in and reproduce, saving their species, but also so we can study their venom in the future and hopefully save thousands of human lives because of that. And this is the problem with puff adders. You can see his tail's still out there because he's now on the substrate and he's like, you can't see me, I'm not gonna move. Because if he moves, then he'll be spotted. So I'll just have to gently lift his tail into the enclosure. There we go. Hey, pretty boy. So if you do feel to support the new facility build, there is a GoFundMe link in the description and I would really appreciate it. I'm going to take you guys along every step of the way of building the new facility and moving everything that's here into a new facility, because that's happening really soon. We've got to move out.